YouTube found community, in the groove fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we are here today to talk about In the Groove number 3 with my little sign that won't light up. I'll hit the button anyway, just because that's what we do here on Giggens TV. You can't see it. It looks awesome in person though. Oh man, it looks so cool. It's like a restaurant sign, you know, like you go to a restaurant and you buy food because the sign says to eat the food. That's what this does. Anyway, we're going to talk about The Who today on In the Groove number 3. Because I feel like they have so many tracks that are kind of just wayward that would eventually find release on other things, but at the time didn't really have a home. So, having just done like a review for the Magic Bus album, and eventually I'll talk about the Odds and Sods album, what I did was try to take tracks that were not on either of those and make a new album out of it that would have come out in 1972. And so I'm calling it Who's Who in 72. Right? Yeah. Decca Records, sign me up. Promotion man, marketing, ideas, strategies, paper, songs, right here. Giggens TV. So what I did was, instead of just completely ripping off the Odds and Sods idea, I tried to make an album as cohesive as possible using tracks that were around as B-sides and singles, basically. So what I did was this. So yeah, Who's Who in 1972 follows with this. Track 1, Join Together. I think that'd be an excellent track to open up an album with. It's got a really good drum intro. You know, really fun to get into the spirit of being with the band and with the music, and you know, getting in the mood of the album itself. Great opening track, very fun song. Came out as a single in the summer of 1972, so fits with the theme. It does have a bit of an outro, a bit of a fade, which I thought would work really well falling into The Seeker from 1970. I thought that would be a great single, you know, second song follow-up to keep the momentum going and bring a little more of a sharper rock feel into the vibe after having kind of a more intricate work done on Join Together. Something a little bit more simpler, a little more upfront, a little more like I Can't Explain as the second song. The track 3 on here, I went with Water, which was recorded in 1970, and before you bite my head off, I know it was the B-side of 515 in 1973, but it was recorded in 1970, so they could have used it. What the heck? I think that will work really well in that track, in that position there, because it's a song that really has a lot of space to grow, and it's a pretty big song. There's a lot of room in that song, and it changes a couple of times, which I think would work really well going right into Heaven and Hell after that studio version, which was the B-side of Summertime Blues in 1970. I think that would work really well to give Heaven and Hell a home there, even though people would have already had that song. Actually, no, they wouldn't have, because Live at Leeds didn't have that on there at the time. It was just the single disc. So that song was new at that point. And then following up the end of side 1 with Relay. So this is only a 10-track album, so it would be like maybe a budget line release or something. But ending side 1 with Relay, which was a 1972 single. So figure this album probably would have come out around Christmas of 72. But Relay is such a bizarre, interesting song. I felt that it would get a good home on something like this. You know, with Pete Townsend predicting the future. Very interesting track. I love the drum pattern on that one. Love the guitars on that one. Roger just screaming his ass off. Very cool song. Side 2, this kind of has a bit of the Lifehouse elements on here. So I thought side 2 opening with I Just Don't Know Myself would be, or I Don't Even Know Myself would be a great way to open side 2. Definitely lots of good crashing moments on this and to get you energized and a little more awake after having kind of tailed off to the groove that Relay was. I think opening with this track is a great way to start side 2, which fades real nicely into Let's See Action. You know, kind of a slight country tinge to that one, but it's got a nice rollicking vibe. Nothing too crazy in the crashing rock and roll department, but it's just a nice song. You know, really solid piece of work. So that would go there. Following up that with When I Was a Boy, so you get another John song. I think it's a really cool song. I like the horns on that one a lot. John's voice on that one is really good. And just to have a little bit of that John flavor on side 2. So you get, you know, a little bit more and whistle tracks on here too. Up next, Here for More, the B-side of The Seeker that Roger wrote. So I think that would have a great place here with that. I love the guitars on that one. It's got a classic, almost Pete Townsend vibe, but with Roger doing a lot of the work on this thing. So I think that will work really well there. And then ending it with Baby Don't You Do It. Either the live version that was the B-side to Join Together, or the version that's on the 1996 Who's Next CD, which was at the record plant in New York, with Felix Paparaldi on guitar. I think that would be an awesome way to end the album. Very loose rock and roll, Roger screaming like crazy, everyone's just jamming on all cylinders. I think that'd be a heck of a lot of fun. So that's kind of my album. That's Who's Who in 72, and I will edit this as poorly as possible just so you can see all the tracks at once. Just a couple of fun facts of The Who at this time. You know, both Pete and Roger were working on solo albums. Who Came First came out that year. John was doing Whistle Rhymes. Keith was hanging out with Sha Na Na. And also, it's not funny, but he drove a car 140 miles per hour through several fences into various pieces of farmland before stopping magically before he hit a reservoir. So there's that. Pete went to India again. You know, they redid their classic 1966 magazine cover for The Observer, showing them as a more grizzled, road-torn band of 1972. But those are some fun facts there. But that's kind of it. I just want to see what you guys have to think about that as a potential Lost Who album. I think it flows really, really well. I made a playlist of it, and it sounds awesome. It kind of works really well. Not to toot my own horn there, but pretty proud of that one, really. So that's it. What do you guys think of Who's Who in 72 on In the Groove number 3? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next In the Groove at some point. Thanks for watching. My name is Giggens. This has been In the Groove, and that's it. Bye-bye.